Hello there, this is Dave Allen. I want to look how we might use the iPad to make a podcast. Well, we could just go into Twisted Wave and start a new document. Press the plus sign in the corner, go to mono, that's all I need for this here, and press the record button and I can start recording a podcast, and that is probably the easiest way to go about doing it. So let's just stop that for the moment and we'll come out of that there. Now, another thing that we might want to do is we might go into other applications. We might go into Aria. And with this application, it's a multi-track recording. And we could do it so that we've got a number of different tracks in there. Let's just go into this other view here. So at the moment, we've got 2 tracks on this here. So I could use one track. So this first track here, I could use that for making the intros and outros. And then I could use the second track where I'm putting in, actually say, something I've pre-recorded already, or doing some talking in there. So I could be speaking into that there. So both of those there, you can use those applications for making podcasts, going direct, or what you might want to do is go a little bit more performance-like with it and go for something like BossJock. And with BossJock, you can set up these carts on this here to play various bits of pre-recorded stuff. So, for instance, this one here, I might release a bit of steam, for instance, or I could have a background sound of amusement park in there. What I want to do with this particular podcast is I want to show you how you can make your own intro that you could put into BossJock, and then you could use as a pre-recorded thingy to make your podcast. And for that, we're going to use Garageband. So in Garageband, let's start with a fresh one here, and just pick any one of these here. It really doesn't matter which one you're going to pick. We're going to go for Smart Guitar. With Smart Guitar, if you want to, and you know what you're doing with regards to playing a guitar, you could actually sort of tap some of these here. Another possibility, though, is to come out of that altogether. Let's go into this section here where we're looking at adding tracks to it and start putting some loops in there. So with some loops, let's just go to the Apple loops and we can choose a few loops to get in there. So let's go to drums first of all, and we can start off with a 60s shuffle drum set. And all you do is to drag this in here and drop it in there. And then you can press play and you can play that. And what's going to happen now is it's going to play in a loop. It's got 2 bars in there. We've got the drums in there. We're going to go for some bass guitar, a little bit of bass to set down a bit of groove, and we'll go for some indie groove bass. How about that there? And as soon as I press that there, we're getting some sort of idea of what it sounds like. And as soon as you're ready to say, okay, well, that's the one I want, or maybe I want the groovy electric bass, that one there, number 9. So there's lots of different ones you can put in there, or maybe an electric slap. So in this case here, we're going to use the indie groove bass, and I'm going to drag that and drop it in there. And as soon as we got in there, it starts playing. Maybe I don't want to have that indie groove bass on there, so I can just tap on that there, double tap and click on delete, and I can go back to choosing whatever I want. So for instance, I might want to go for the rock bass 2, and I'm going to drag that and drop that in there. We've got a rock bass in there now. We need to have some guitars in there, so let's go back into the guitars again, and we'll go for, let's see what else we've got in there with guitars. That's bass, let's go into guitars. And we'll go for the alto pop acoustic. So let's drag and drop that in there. So we've got a 60s shuffle drum set in there, a rock bass, and we've got pop acoustic. And I think maybe we should have a bit of electric guitar in there as well. So let's just go back into this here, go for a guitars again. And we'll go for, well, we could go for cheerful mandolin, couldn't we? What we'll go for, let's see, let's go for Delta Blues solo, number 6. We'll drag that and drop it in there, and put it at the start of the track as well to make sure it goes in there. And of course we need something else in there as well. Let's come out of guitars, let's go for percussion or shaker. Let's go for a bit of shaker. You've got to have a bit of shaker in there. Big maracas. We need to have a bit of maracas in there. Let's go for the maracas with the 2 bars, and I'm just going to drag that and drop that in there. So now I've got my background track for an intro, and I want to get it out of this Garageband and into somewhere where I can use it. So we've gone into my songs here. I'm going to go to select. I'm going to select the one I want to use. It's called My Song 3 at the moment. Going to tap on that button in the top left hand corner there, and I'm going to tell it to open here. And I'm going to have to say what I want it to be there first of all. So it's going to go for high quality at, let's go for medium quality, doesn't really matter. And don't need to change any artist name or composer name or anything like that. Going to click on share. So it exports a song out first of all, and when it's finished exporting it out, we'll get the chance to choose where we want to send it. And we're going to send it into BossJock. So there we are in BossJock. It's opened up BossJock for me. It says the file has been imported and now it's accessible via the recordings folder. So now let's start using this here. So let's go to one of these empty carts. We'll use this one at the top here, go into recordings, and it should be in there as output 2 M4A. It should be the last one I put in there. It should be that one there. And I can test to see if it's the correct one by just pressing play on there. And if it sounds the same as what I had before, then it's the right one. So we've got 16 seconds of intro music that we can use. And what we can do with this here in BossJock is that we can leave that there as a background music track that we can put in at any time during our recording. So you can play that music wherever you want it in your podcast and use it as a bit of background or as a bumper or a stinger or a bit of a jingle. And also what we can do is we can use that to make a intro that we could use whenever we want. So it could be used multiple times. So the intro obviously is going to be used at the beginning of a podcast, and we'll do that in the next video. So this is Dave Allen for No Stylus. Talk to you again soon. Bye bye now.